All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hell Yeah Value Proposition. Here's what we're going to be doing today, creating messages that break through the noise. Notice I said doing, not learning. It's great for sharing, helping, and learning. I love all that stuff. But unless we're taking that into action, nothing is going to happen. So this is an interactive workshop you're in. This is not just a place to learn. I just want to pre-frame that up front. Once you're in my world, we get things done. So this is where we're going to go, creating messages that break through the noise. Let's start with some roller coasters, shall we? So here, I want to take you on a little mental journey. Two people get on a roller coaster. They sit side by side, and they go up the ramp and then down the decline, through the loops and all the turns, and they come back to the station. One person gets off and says, that was the most thrilling thing ever. Can't wait to do it again. And the other person gets off and says, that was the most horrifying thing ever. I'm never doing that again. Now, these two people came away with two complete perceptions of the exact same factual experience. And this is important to know because this is really important to know about your messaging, because what's going on there is they took away two completely different meanings from the same set of inputs, right? That's really what we're going to be talking about, is meaning. Specifically, nothing has meaning. And before you start thinking, oh no, Michael's going into existential angst here, which may be true, not sure. But what we're really talking about, nothing has meaning other than what we attach to it. And this is super important to know about how you communicate about your business and what is going to persuade someone to say yes to you. Nothing has meaning other than what we attach to it. We human beings, we are meaning-making machines. We will attach meaning to everything. One of our five senses picks it up, a meaning gets attached automatically. This is just how we operate. What this also means is that people don't buy your thing. They buy what your thing means to them. We need to change this conversation. This is about how do you communicate the right kind of meaning to your audience? How do you take control of the meaning narrative? And as I'm going to show you, it's that narrative which is the key to whether or not you get a yes, maybe, or a no. Okay? So, quick background again, behavioral neurology and language, persuasive messaging and value communication, but really we're about communicating for results. No result, what got communicated, right? Okay, so lesson number one, don't kill your customer. Let's just pause right here and notice this is generally good advice, regardless of the context, okay? But to be honest, this is kind of what we do, as you'll see, when we talk about our businesses in the way that we normally do. What's the way we normally do? Talk about what we do and maybe offer some features and benefits to surround it. This is where messages go to die. This is what 90% of most networking looks like, what most marketing looks like, and even sales conversations. Unfortunately, this type of information speaks to the wrong part of the brain. Talks to the part of the brain that has almost nothing to do with deciding whether or not someone's going to want to work with you, okay, or hire you, or do anything that you're asking them to do on any level. So, to understand what's going on, here's a picture of gazelle, because why not, right? What's a morning without looking at some gazelle? Well, actually, what's going on with these gazelles is crucial to understanding what's going on in the mind of your audience when they are meeting your business for the first time. So let's look a little deeper. I'm going to take the human brain and we're going to metaphorically divide it into two parts. Upstairs, we have the human brain. Human brains do exactly what you think a human brain is going to do. This is where you do logic and reason and time and about 1,000 other different functions that we associate with being human. Altogether, we'll use the word rational, even though this really needs to be put in finger quotes. But downstairs is where the real action is, okay? Here's where we have what I call the critter brain. And the critter brain does two things and two things only. And it does them extraordinarily well because we've been doing these things all our life. right? Since birth through now. And they are emotions and survival. And we're going to focus on survival for now. So congratulations. The fact that you're here, your creator brain has served you very well so far. Now, making the choice between doing a rational decision or a survival decision, which one do you think we're going to favor? Well, survival every single time. We are going to prioritize survival decisions over rational every single time. Everyone here is the proud descendant of some long ago ancestor who, when walking across the plain, did not turn to the right and say, gee, I wonder if that lion is hungry. Well, we ran away and we did a pretty good job of it. So survival decisions win every single time, no matter what. And one of the primary ways that our critter brain is neurologically hardwired to maintain survival, to make sure we surround ourselves with like kind, people who are like ourselves. This also works with products. That's a whole other presentation. So we are neurologically designed to want to be around people we consider to be like ourselves, to be like kind. To this part of the brain, the critter brain, it says, I don't want me to die. Therefore, people like me probably don't want me to die either. Sounds good. Let's make sure that happens. Crucially, what this also means is that anyone we encounter who is not sufficiently like kind is now seen as a potential threat to survival. Quite literally, the only two choices our brain gives us. You are either like kind or you might eat my face off, right? So fundamentally, every decision is a choice between safe versus not safe. Safe equals a yes, not safe equals no dice. No one ever in the history of ever has said yes, said bought into anything, bought anything, made any action when their critter brain is in the background going, if we do this, we will die. Will never happen. This right here is the neurology of trust. You've all heard the saying they have to know, like, and trust you before they'll buy. This is the neurology of trust. It's all about communicating in a way that gets them to feel into the safe area and not trigger the might destroy me type of neurology. Now, this is hardwired in us. This is what I call a gatekeeper step. We do this for every single decision we ever make. And I know it doesn't feel that way because a lot of decisions get automated. We have the experience of life to know what is safe and not safe for us. And it happens almost instantaneously. But if you ever see a small child try to make a decision about something they're very unfamiliar with, it's like they short circuit. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to make the decision. They look up at mom and dad. What they're actually doing is signaling, hey, can you tell me what's safe or not safe here? How do I make this decision? So a lot of that gets automated. But I guarantee that if in your mind's eye, you go into your kitchen and you open up that drawer and you pull out the spatula that you bought 20 years ago, you bought the spatula that for some reason your neurology said, this one's not going to kill me. Yes, it works like that. Okay. So the name of the game is communicating in a way that gets your audience into feeling the safe area. For that, we need like kind, right? So how do we create like kind? Here's how the whole thing works. Your audience takes in whatever you are communicating. Okay. Believe me when I tell you, everything is a form of communication. If one of our senses can pick it up, it's communication. And we're going to attach meaning to it. The first thing and the only thing the brain does is it's looking for that like kind match. Are you like me? This is an identity match. Is your identity match my identity? Okay. Whichever way that goes, yes or no, then it gets kicked up to the human brain, which wraps a story around the decision the critter brain has made. We justify that decision, make it make sense. Of course, the human brain takes credit for the whole thing. Oh, didn't I make a good logical decision? And then we output into behavior. And since this is a business networking, the behavior we're looking for is to smash the buy button. Okay, so this neurology, this is the neural pathway that is ever present. And I need you to understand two big takeaways from this. Number one, the critter brain's in charge. That's the part of us that's driving the bus. And all it's concerned with is, are you like-kind to me? Secondarily, you as the business owner, as the communicator, have control of only one part of this entire neural pathway, and it's right there at the beginning. What are you communicating? That's all you get. Your audience takes it from there on out. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you how to use this neurology to your advantage. Okay? So let's communicate effectively. Let's go back to our framework here, human brain and critter brain. When we start talking about the what you do and all the features and benefits around that, maybe you're talking about even who you do it for. These are technically logical arguments, and only the human brain can hear them. That's the wrong part of the brain, isn't it? That's not the part of the brain making the decision. That's the part of the brain making the justification. So there we are, giving our audience a lot of great information about how to justify a decision. Fantastic. But hardly any information about how they should be making the decision in the first place. Yet communication is always happening, right? If one of their senses can pick it up, it's communication. So here's what's happening. Okay, we need to have the equation filled out. We need to have the critter brain saying yes or no to your safe or not. Then the human brain needs to have the information to justify it. In the absence of very clearly communicated information in your messaging that targets and speaks directly to the critter brain, they will make it up for you. They will literally take in whatever you are communicating, reach into their history of life where you have no control, right? And start attaching, making associations, start making meaning out of what you are communicating. You have lost the narrative now. You're now operating on luck. Maybe it matches up. Chances are it doesn't. And when you give kind of fuzzy information that, boy, those justifications up there, the features and benefits, I sure want those, but the critter brain is working at trying to figure out, are you safe or not? That's where we get the maybes. Gee, I'm not sure. They got 1 foot in safe, or sorry, 1 foot and I want it, 1 foot in, but I don't know if you're going to kill me. Okay. Critter brains have no access to real versus not real. So that is what's going on. This part of the brain is making that threat assessment. That's where we get the maybes. Only when both of these are aligned with the audience do we get yeses, and no's are no's. So let's erase. We're not going to do that anymore. Let's follow the neurology. I'm going to start upstairs. There are 2 main questions that your audience are asking that you need to answer. These are the 2 most highly valued pieces of information that in your message, the first thing that your audience needs to know about you, this is what they're actually wanting to hear. Number 1, what is the main outcome the client gets? This is what you need to communicate. What's the main outcome? Let me go into outcomes a little bit because they can be slippery little creatures. The outcome you deliver may not be the thing you're going to deliver. Here's an example. It comes from Theodore Levitt, Harvard business professor from back in the day. He says quite famously, people don't want a 1/4-inch drill. What they want is a 1/4-inch hole. So in this metaphor, start thinking about your business. Whatever you do, you've probably been talking about the thing that you deliver. I encourage you now to start thinking about what's the outcome that that thing actually gives your client. That's what they need to know. What is the main outcome? And if you do many things, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff that they can get from. What's the main thing? If you do lots of stuff, put it all in a bucket in your mind's eye, label the bucket. What does all that actually do for someone? Now, this is great, but it's not critter brain information. What's the critter brain looking for? Completely different. We're going to get into that later because we're going to do an exercise now. We're going to do a demonstration. Want to focus on the outcome. Jumped ahead a little bit there. Came back. We're going to focus on the outcome. Raise your digital hand. This is going to be some free messaging work for someone who's brave enough to sort of talk about their business a little bit. If you raise your digital hand, it pops to the top of my screen here. There we go. Miriam.
It's always me.
It's always you. Yes. All right. So Miriam, tell us what you do.
So I am known as the cake baking insurance agent. And really, I'm a financial professional who loves to bake, but people laugh when I say cake baking insurance agent. So my core competency is on the insurance side.
Okay.
But you know, I am a financial professional, so I handle also things like retirement planning, but I focus a lot of my practice on life insurance, disability insurance, and long-term care insurance. So I'm very much getting value from what you're doing, just because I get stuck with the critter brain. With my
Yeah, you get it all the time, aren't you? Okay. Here's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
When someone has life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance, what do they get from having all those things?
So the cliche answer in my industry is peace of mind.
Peace of mind, always peace of mind and for insurance. And here's what's wrong with peace of mind. No one knows what it actually means.
Right. And so I don't say that one. I'm saying, but that's like the stereotypical one.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what it is, but a lot of times it's financial security.
Yeah.
It's a big thing is financial security. It's having a plan in place, which also gives a version of security. And I see Darshan also just wrote security in the chat.
Right.
And so that's a lot of, you know, what it is. It's a lot of like, I don't have to have guesswork anymore. And so now I know I'm okay. It's a feeling of safety.
Okay. Now, we're actually going to go into breakout rooms later. You're going to, like, after this, and you're going to do this amongst yourselves. I want to give the demonstration because what Miriam just showed us, and what I'm going to do right now is I want you to notice not just the things that someone says, but the words they use to say it. Here's some keywords that Miriam brought up: security, plan, no guesswork, and safety. Is everyone noticing that Miriam's language, all those words kind of point in the same direction, right? Probably mostly in that last word, safety. Why am I asking for Miriam's words and not the client's words? It goes back to identity. We are not creating a message that's about, I'm going to give you the thing you want. This is about a message that communicates identity. This is about a message that lets someone know you are like kind. So I want you to get practice at using your language, your map of reality. So Miriam's map of reality is security, plan, no guesswork, and safety. Miriam, what does someone really get to have? We may already have it. I just want to check. When they have security and a plan. Let's start with those two. How come those matter?
You're saying, why does safety matter?
No.
That's several words or what?
Yeah. What does someone have when they have security and a plan?
Okay, let me think about that. What does someone have when they have security and a plan? I'm trying not to just answer in the same redundant words.
If only the same redundant words come up, then that lets us know we're at the bottom layer of the onion.
Okay, fine. So if someone has safety and a plan, it's like permission to relax and not worry.
Okay. Interesting. Permission to relax and not worry. Interesting framing. Okay. So now we know that the outcome, or we have a pretty good indication that the outcome of Miriam's business is not, hey, you're going to get life insurance, you're going to get disability insurance, you're going to get long-term care insurance, you're going to get peace of mind. What we're really talking about is delivering a plan that creates security, and to use the other word, safety. We're talking about security and safety, truly. Now, this is only half the story. When we do the demonstration for the creator brain star part, it's really going to blow this open, but we're going to start here. So let's go into breakout rooms. How many people per breakout room? Zoe or Jess, do you suppose? Given our numbers. 4, 5?
I think we could do 4.
4. Okay. Then let's do breakout rooms of about 14 minutes. That gives each person 3 minutes plus a little bit of Q&A. Be interactive. Don't just say, notice what I did. Like, tell me more about that. How come that? Right? Off we go. We'll see what we'll come back and I'll debrief everyone. I'm going to ask you what you came up with and I'll help you refine it. We'll do a quick little one by one.
We solved world peace, by the way.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. Truly. And what took you so long?
I'm actually just want to let you know that we'll be saving it for the Miss World event first.
Okay.
That's where you'll hear it first.
I got
Fantastic.
news for you. This group really could solve that.
Nice.
Just saying. Beacon has some high caliber people.
I don't know how many of us qualify for Miss World, though. My bald spot does tend to affect that.
That's a point off.
That's a point off.
Yeah. Is everyone back yet? Or is there one group still out there?
Yep. It's back.
Everyone's back. Okay. Please all come off of the mute there. Let's hear what you have, and I'm going to help sort of refine it. I'll just take whoever wants to speak
I'll
up
go
first. Okay.
I help regulators see your business the way you do.
Ooh. Interesting. What kind
You
of
want to guess what I
regulators? I'm
do?
curious. What kind of regulators?
So I'm a food and drug lawyer. So my
Okay.
job is to get the FDA to see the world the way you do.
Interesting. Okay. That's a good outcome. Yeah. Yeah. I once worked with a IP attorney and they all say, I protect X, Y, and Z, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's baseline. Turns out what was going on in his map was like, it's all about the money. Okay. So his outcome was, I get you the most money possible from your IP. No, not a lot of IP attorneys are talking about that, right? And I'll talk about protection. He's like, no, I'm going to make you rich. Okay, so who do you want to work with now? Right? Yeah. Who else? There's only a few people here, so we can just knock these down. Linda.
So I'm a college and career strategist. And so what came out of our conversation is to really lean into the fact that I will guide your children to care about them as much as you do.
I love this relationship as much as you do. Seems to be a theme that's popping up here. It's a really good outcome. Makes it very personal. Usually by now I'm sort of fine tuning and correcting, but boy, these are really good. This is the A group. I love it. Linda, that's a really good outcome. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'll throw something out. I want to thank Erica for her coaching on this.
Nice.
So I have Advancer is a strategic advisory firm for healthcare and life science companies. And Erica's interpretation was move forward with confidence and clarity.
Okay. And when one has confidence and clarity, what does one have now? Like really make it tangible.
Right. Your one is you're creating value, you are delivering results, you're achieving your objectives.
Okay.
What's your suggestion?
Jeff, you're helping influence people in the direction you want to influence them to. You have a place where you want to take them, and that way, with the clarity and the confidence, you're getting them to where you want them to get to faster, I think.
I see. I like how Charlie added the time element in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Move forward with clarity and confidence and faster. Right? Or get there faster with clarity and confidence.
Thank you.
Erica, you're on mute.
And Jeffrey, one of the things you had mentioned was that was very tied to being able to make decisions and take action instead of being stuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. See, a lot of people in your space, Jeffrey, are talking about clarity and confidence.
So I've actually
It's
worked
fine.
with Jeffrey, and I actually love what Jeffrey does. And I would say that what Jeffrey actually adds is providing trust, a trustworthy process to optimize results. That's really what he brings to the table when I've worked with him.
Yeah, I'm
Like, I
noticing
know when I
results-
give something to him, it'll be done and it'll get there as optimally as possible.
Thank you, Darshan.
Darshan, sorry, Jeffrey, does Darshan's frame of optimally, how does that land for you?
I think, well, again, I'm always concerned about being too technical or have, I mean, one of the terms that I've been using is accelerate. So how do you accelerate
Yes.
your results? And
Yeah.
because in the life science industry where everyone's worried about patents and patent expiry, being able every day that you can't bring a product to market has a significant impact on the valuation of both your company and the products. So getting there correctly the first time is really quite important. It's a very present mindset that exists.
Yeah.
So what you
Again, the
just
speed
described,
component came up.
so what you're just describing, Jeffrey, is you actually deliver money. Time is money.
Yes.
Yeah, you get to the finish line faster.
Yes,
Basically.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the outcome. You get to the finish line faster, or you get them to the finish line faster.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. We're going to keep going. It's only 9:51. Well, we'll do one more, and then we're going to get to the next exercise. Anyone else?
I can do it.
Right on, Mark.
I help small business owners and entrepreneurs get unstuck and achieve sustainable breakthrough performance. I'm a business therapist, by the way. It's like a business coach
Okay.
on steroids.
Yeah. Okay. Repeat that first part again, please.
I help small business owners and entrepreneurs get
Okay.
unstuck and achieve sustainable breakthrough performance. So I think I've got the outcomes in there, or the outcome.
Well, I just want some clarity because breakthrough performance is a bit over vague.
Mhm.
What is that? What is that?
Well, it's exceeding the plateaus or the or fully realizing the potential of the business that is not being happening right now because they are stuck.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I didn't want to get too specific because I try to keep it short, but yeah, I'm happy to reword that.
Yeah, there's something about see things like potential, maybe not, right? Because everyone has their own meaning that can get attached to that. You lost the narrative, right? May not be the same potential that you're talking about. And then later on, they're like, oh, there's not a good fit here. But this idea of there's this idea of what the business could be, but I'm stuck over here, right? Do your clients often know what the business could be, or are you helping them figure that out as well?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes they know what they want to do and they just can't get there. And other
So you're
times,
saying there's what your business could be, and there's where you are.
right.
I'm the person who bridges that gap.
Yep. Yeah. So I bridge the gap between what your business could be and where it is today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move on. Because as fun as that was, the really important one is next. Here's how we communicate with the critter brain. What do you believe is true? I know that's a strange question, but the critter brain operates in the realm of beliefs. This is the fastest way to gain trust with anybody, is just to simply tell them what you believe. Here's the thing about critter brains. They are happy to take your suggestions, right? Now, if you're communicating something that doesn't include a belief system, we're going to have to reach into our history of life, start attaching meanings to it, and get an idea, do we share the same beliefs? That creates the safety, that creates the trust. But if you tell someone, here's the belief, here's my belief, specifically. Here's what matters about this. Your audience will happily accept your frame and use your framing to understand you and understand the problem at hand and how to work about it. About 90% of all human conversation is two people hurling beliefs at each other. Quite literally, how we understand and organize our world is through our beliefs. And in any human interaction, the person with the strongest belief wins. If the child believes they deserve that piece of candy more than their parent believes they don't, guess who's getting candy today, right? So, next exercise that I'm going to demo here is about beliefs, okay? So, let's do a little demonstration. Here's the big question we're going to be asking. What's important to you about what you do? This is a very carefully designed question. I want you to ask it this way. This word important is doing a lot of heavy lifting neurologically. Not getting into that, but it's an important word to be using. Can I get a volunteer for the demo? Okay, I saw I'm sorry, Miriam, but Linda's hand went up first, even though it wasn't digital. All right, Linda.
So for me,
Well, orient us again on what you do, just so
I am a college and career strategist. I work with families who have teens and young adults navigating both to and through college, from high school to successful career.
Okay.
And for me, the baseline, what's important is I am trying to empower the next generation. I mean, for me to create a kinder, healthier, and more just world.
Nice. So just to help everyone out, the original question would have been, what's important to you about navigating one's path from high school to college?
Okay.
Now that I ask it that way, what do you say? Is it the same answer?
So I would the same answer in terms of empowering the next generation.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, my baseline question to all of the young people that I work with is what impact you want to have on the world. And so for me, that's at the core of navigating their path, is what impact are they trying to make? How are they going to leave their mark on the world, big or small?
I love it. You are okay. So the belief system that is presupposed in what Linda says there is, and Linda, I'm going to ask you to confirm or say, nope, not quite right, Michael. It's okay to do that second one if you want to, is going to college is not about the college. It's really about the impact you want to make in the world.
Absolutely. It's a part of your journey to learn and grow, to gain the skills, the network, the resources to be able to make impact.
So thank you. This goes quicker. This one went quicker than normal. Thank you, Linda. So Linda can, as part of her message, is to say out loud, not just saying, hey, I'm a college and career strategist, which is the thing she does, human brain communication, right? Not even talking about the outcome. It's just the what you do, in one ear out the other. But you can absolutely start off by saying, going to college isn't about the college. It's about the impact you want to make in the world. I'm a college and career strategist. And then you can talk about your outcome, right? But notice how we learn a lot more about Linda and her value system, her belief system, by understanding her framing of all this, which is, this is about impact. What this does, it's right up front. Everyone in her audience who shares a similar belief system about impact has now just said, I need to talk to Linda. We are aligned. We are like kind. Your belief system is going to be your most powerful differentiator, more so than a niche. Niches are just sort of shortcuts to identity alignment. Oh, we do the same kind of thing. Therefore, we are aligned. We share the same identity. Belief systems are far more powerful. Plus, no one can copy it. It's your belief system, right? Plus, when you do that, as Linda does, she becomes the strongest belief in the room, And everyone in the room, as long as this idea of impact is not a violation to their sense of safety, right? No leopard's going to eat my faces off. Everyone in the room just went, oh, okay, yeah, I will accept your proposal. This is about impact. Let's start talking about impact. Later on in the presentation, I'm going to show you how to activate that in a sales conversation. So let's go back into our rooms. Could be different rooms of 4. And this is what we're going to ask. What's important to you about what you do? And when someone says, oh, okay, this is what Linda didn't do, and I'm glad she didn't, but it's going to come up. Some of you are going to want to start talking about your clients. Oh, I want to make sure that they have X, Y, and Z. No. Pause them right there. Interrupt them. This is about you. You define your belief system, right? Erica is a change facilitator. What's important to you about the kind of change you facilitate? How come that matters to you? You, Erica, no one else, right? Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Have an answer. Okay, what's important to you about that answer? Go a little bit deeper. See how far you go and see what comes up, okay? All right, let's have some feedback. What did you all work on? How was that for you? Or you want to tell me what your belief system is for your business? Miriam.
What I thought was really interesting, because it was me, Bob, and Eduardo, is I started off saying that my belief is that I feel like I need to make people feel cared about. And I was asking, is that still client focused versus me? But I have this belief that people have a need to feel cared about. And when Bob went, he was talking about the impact that his fundraising has on the community and et cetera, et cetera. And at the end, he says that, basically what he's pitching to companies is basically that the company gets to show people that they care. And I said, do you realize you just agreed to my belief that you also believe? I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
That it's really important that people know that there's a sense of caring, that the idea of caring is one of the things that people value most.
Excellent. So what's important to you, Miriam, when you know that someone you're working with cares about you?
Say that again. What's important to me? Like you're saying, if I know someone I'm working with cares about me?
Yeah. Yeah. When you know that the person you're working with, and we can keep this like professional service of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
When you know that they care about you, what's important to you about having that?
There's a sense of safety there. There's a sense of trust there.
Okay. No, we're getting to baseline states. It's basically what we're doing. Yeah. Now notice a world where everyone who in business cares the way you do about their client. What's important to you about that?
The world would be a better place. So
Yeah.
they say it again. I'm trying to figure out how to answer that. Can you rephrase that?
You try to make it more small scale, not necessarily the world.
I know, I'm just teasing, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But can you say that
Yeah.
again?
Well,
Ask your question.
When business owners care about their clients in the way that you are indicating, what's important to you about that?
When business owners care about their clients.
The way that you do, how come that's important?
As if I take myself out of it and I just do a broad view.
No, I want you to put yourself in it. How
I'll
come
put
this is
myself in it.
important
In
to
other
you?
words, as opposed to, because one of the questions is like, for me doing, okay, I guess I'm a little confused on maybe how to answer that then.
Not unusual. The creative brain has zero access to language, so it's sending out signals that the human brain has to figure out what the heck's going on.
It needs Mark's style to get me unstuck. That's his thing.
Right.
No, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because one is a I question, one is a sounds like a universal question of why is this important in how business is conducted.
Yeah, but it's about you. How come this is important to you that business is conducted this way?
I just believe everyone should feel cared about. I feel like everyone should have that as a basic need, not just a luxury.
Yeah.
That basic need should be met, that people should feel cared about.
Okay. Let's put a pin in that one for now. We'll come back to it. Okay, Miriam?
Mhm.
All right. Any other?
I'll go.
Darshan.
I went with helping develop a fair outcome for all parties so that I can live with the outcome if I was on the other side of the table.
Okay, so this is about having a fair outcome.
Yeah.
What's important about fairness to you?
To me, it's the idea that I could be there, but for the grace of God go I.
Mhm.
So if I was on the other side, I would get the same benefit, and I can pass the red face test if I'm trying to negotiate something.
Yeah. Yeah. This is about finding what's fair.
Yeah.
You walk away with this with some that you know you did the right. I'm getting a sense of there's a doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Type of element in here. Yeah. Okay.
Would a question, if I may,
Yeah.
Darshan, would your fairness outcome make it more durable as an agreement?
More than durable, it's about livable. So
Yeah.
people can, to me, it's a sense of maybe honor and no shame in saying I still walked away with something that I didn't walk away with my head held low because of the result.
But I'm
Yeah.
thinking that if you do, wouldn't the business partner also? Therefore, wouldn't it be more durable?
I mean, I hear you. To me, it's not about durability. I hear you,
Yeah.
but that's not what it's about
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. No, this is on Darshan's map of reality. What he does is really about integrity.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is about integrity. And for you, integrity means fairness. It means walking away. The end result of this is something that you're going to walk away with proud of what we
Right.
have.
Right.
Yeah. Now, anyone coming into Darshan's world knows exactly where he stands. And when their value system aligns with that, he's the right person. Right? Whereas before, the critter brain's going, well, who the heck are you? I know you do a thing, but how do I make this choice?
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Anyone else? If not, we'll just keep going. All right, let's keep going. Let me minimize my Brady Bunch view here. Okay, so back to our original frame. People don't buy your thing, they buy what your thing means to them. What you do and the details and the features, that's the thing. The meaning is made up of the belief and the outcome. So real quick, in the time we have left, I'm going to show you how to order these. Now, this is a guideline. This is not a rule. The rules were up above. Outcome and belief. Those are the rules. But how you order them, it's more guideline. Okay, everyone instantly understands what you do the exact same way. Hardly anyone in this room fits this question. This is usually the trades. You ask a plumber, what do you do? They say, I'm a plumber. Everyone instantly understands what the outcome is the exact same way. Okay? The closer your business is to that, you start with the belief. But as you start moving away, you're going to start with the outcome and then belief. Okay? Orient them on where they stand with you and then share what beliefs you have so they can know, like, yes, we are aligned. Now, the further still, the language needs to be more and more simple. So closer in, typically things like real estate agent, people are pretty familiar with real estate agent, still want to come with the outcome and then the belief. But we can use some inside baseball terms because we're all familiar with it. But when there's less and less relationship between what you do and how your audience understands it, more and more simple language. We're talking like 5th, 6th grade reading level, honestly. And when you're way out there, there's zero relationship between what you do and the audience. Now we're in metaphor land. I didn't go into metaphor in any of this because that's a whole other hour topic. But for example, I had a client not too long ago. They do data analytics for a vertical of mutual insurance companies. Mutual insurance companies are usually family-owned businesses, been around for 30, 50 years. They have zero relationship to data analytics, what it means, what it does from anything. And they were having a tough time really getting yeses from this audience. So we started to meet them where they are. So we had to start with a metaphor and then brought them into this frame. Okay. So this is how to organize it. You have the two pieces. This is a good guideline for how to do which one comes first, right? Okay, really quickly, how to apply this to a sales conversation. Generally speaking, in a sales conversation, there's rapport, there's their need, like discovery. Then you talk about your solution based on what they said. And then you have your ask, right? Nothing new here, basic, basic, basic. Notice that big gap in the middle there. There is something your client needs to hear before you talk about your solution. And we are all service providers of some kind. When we hear about their need, oh boy, are we helpful, aren't we? We're like, I can solve that. I can totally do that, right? Let me show you how awesome this is going to be when we solve this together. Pause. Don't do that yet. Take a breath. Do this instead. I call it the belief transition. What is that? You just tell them what you believe. Right? For example, okay, there's Linda. She has some rapport with her client. Okay, what are you looking for? All these things. Now she starts with that question of what's the impact you want to make? Gets them going down. Her belief transition is already kind of implied, but she could still say it anyway. Before talking about any solutions that she's going to have with prospective clients, right? Maybe the student isn't in it. I don't know, Linda. Maybe the student isn't there yet. Maybe you're talking to the parents first to see if they want to hire you, right? Okay. So you're talking about like, what are they looking for? X, Y, and Z. You go into belief transition. You simply say, here's what this is all about. This is not about the college. I know we're talking about college placement and career. This is not really about that. This is about the impact you want to make in the world. That's what this is about. If you're not focused on impact, you're focusing on the wrong things, right? Something like that. Now, what happens is when you talk about your belief, you now frame everything that comes after that in terms of the belief. And because if they didn't go running from the room, they agree with your belief, okay? And you'll be able to know if their creative brain was triggered. They'll go, I don't know about that. You now have the biggest yes you're going to get in that conversation. They now agree with a shared belief system. Now you can talk about your solution in terms of that belief and the ask in terms of that belief. So when Linda talks about the things she's going to do, when she talks about what it's like working with her, she can relate every single step of that and how it relates to making an impact. I'm going to ask these types of questions. And they matter because this is how we learn about X, Y, and Z, impact type stuff. Always relating the solution back to the shared belief. This is about impact. And the ask is no longer, hey, do you want to hire me? The ask is, for Linda's case, in this example, would you like to start talking about how your kid's going to make an impact in the world and finding a college that's going to help them make that impact? Notice how this changes the conversation away from, do you want to hire me, yes or no? And more into, do you want to take action now on the shared belief and the solutions for that, to make that happen? Okay. In here, you can weave in the outcome, right? Yes, there's some art to it, but y'all smart enough to get this far. This is doable. Okay. Start noticing how you can start changing how you talk about your business in terms of outcomes and beliefs, and how those are the focus of the conversation, not the things you do. Do you want those things? Is that making sense to everybody? All right. I know this was difficult work because I'm the professional. This is the first time you've ever done it, right? So some final reminders, and then I have something I want you all to take advantage of. Totally free. How you talk about your business determines your success. One of my core beliefs, okay? By the way, beliefs don't have to be profound. They just have to be true. Once worked with a client, the core belief of their business was it's fun to show off. Perfectly good for their business. They make cooking gadgets. Understanding that belief, you know what their marketing message turned into? Hey, do you want to be the star of the dinner party? It's all pointing at a belief system of it's fun to show off. So how you talk about your business determines your success. You must communicate in a way that delivers safety and trust, not just information. And when you're not clear, they will make it up for you. All right. Normally, I would take some questions, but we all started to work on this stuff. And I know it's kind of frustrating. It's like, oh, I only got so far, and it was kind of a little bit like working with people who didn't really quite know what we're all doing here. Happy to spend another 30 minutes with you to work on the stuff you started today. Click on this QR code. It'll take you to my calendar link. Absolutely happy to continue this work. I'm all about results more than I'm about just like, hey, I gave this talk, whatever, right? For those of you who are taking notes, there's this ebook I have on my website called Neurology of Yes. It's an ebook that basically contains a lot of what you just I just walked you through. So you can use that to supplement your notes. It will ask you for your email. Don't worry, that's a low sort of investment exchange. I think in the many years I've been doing this, I've emailed my list twice. Don't worry about it. Rarely going to happen. You're not going to get on a list and start getting a bunch of stuff from me. So take advantage of this. This is free for everybody. Okay. Happy to help you tune it up. I do this. I reserve certain days of the week to do just this work. Happy to take questions now.
Well, if you're seeing the chat at all, you're seeing that everyone's talking about how great this was. And
oh, I don't ever look at the chats, hardly ever, but thank you.
Well, Michael, I'll say it verbally since you're not looking at the chat. Excellent job, and really resonates with me. So thank you so much for your investment and time with us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Yes, I will. In addition to questions, I will take effusive praise. That will generally align with my sense of identity. Thank you.
So
Michael,
can you tell us real quickly what type of clients do you typically have? I assume this is what you do, is help companies clarify their messaging, branding.
Yes, this is 1/3 of what I do, actually. Typical client for me is business services. I work with a lot of lawyers, wealth managers. I'm working with a general contractor right now. I work with a lot of startups trying to figure out their go-to-market messaging. Basically, everyone who says, I have a great idea in my head, my business is awesome, but I don't know how to get the awesome in my head into their head. How do I do that? And so those are typically my clients. Who I can't work with is someone who says, how come you're in this business? Oh, it was a great way to make money. Can't help you. There's no belief system there to work with.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, not that I don't want it. I'd love to help you, but I literally can't. There's nothing to work with. Go make money. Go do it. It's a legit, no judgment, but I'm not the person for you that can help. Yes, Charlie.
Michael, thank you so much. And thanks to Mark for recommending that you come on and speak to you challenge people's thinking. You're trying to get people outside the box.
Yep.
You've heard the statement, facts tell and stories sell. So,
exactly.
Reading what's on the back of a cereal box doesn't tell you about the taste and fun of eating that cereal. So you're able to make us see that. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you. And facts tell, stories sell. But my key question goes to, but what kind of story do you need to be telling? Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Let's figure that out.
Beacon is the premier executive networking organization serving the Mid-Atlantic region. To learn more, go to beaconforlife.org.